So in this video, we'll learn how to calculate the area and perimeter of any shape such as a square, rectangle, triangle, or a circle. So let's start with a square. Now, the most important thing to keep in mind for a square is that all the sides are equal. So let's say if you have one of the sides as 3 centimeters, then all of the sides are 3 centimeters, since all the sides in a square are equal. So now the formula for area is equal to length times width, but since all the lengths are same over here, it will just be length squared, or you can say width squared or anything. Now the area by definition is this amount of space inside a shape. So the shaded area over here is the area. Now let's plug in the value. So it will be 3 multiplied by 3, which will give you 9, and the unit for area is centimeters squared. Now it could be meters squared or inches squared depending on the units. But since in our question we were given centimeters over here, then our answer will be cm squared or centimeters squared. So now what if the one of the sides is modified to 4 centimeters? What do you think the area then would be? So applying the same formula again, since one of the sides or all of the sides are 4 centimeters, it will just be 4 centimeters multiplied by 4 centimeters. And let's actually change the unit over here. So let's say it is meters. 4 meters multiplied by 4 meters, and the answer would be 16 meters squared. Now let's move on to perimeter. Now, by definition, perimeter is the total distance around the shape. So we would measure this part, this part, this length, and this length. And we will add all of them up. And that is basically what perimeter is. So here, the formula for perimeter is perimeter is equal to 2 length, or for a square you can say it's 4 length, since all the lengths are the same. So here we would just, let's say this is 3 centimeters, we would just do 4 multiplied by the length, which is one of the sides, which is 3 in our case, which will be 12. And the units for perimeter is gonna be cm, since we are not multiplying centimeter 2 times. What we are doing here is we are multiplying 3 centimeters by 4 only, and it's not 4 centimeters, it is 4 sides over here. So that is why the units is centimeters. And for area, we were multiplying 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters, since both of the sides were there. And in this formula you can also see it's that 4 length, it is not 4 centimeter length, something like that. So the answer is going to be 12 here. Now let's say the length was 4 centimeter, or let's say it was 5. So it would be the same steps again, and let's say it was meters. So it would be 20 meters, since 5 times 4 is 20, and the units will be meters. Let's move on to rectangle now. So now let's say we have this rectangle A, or let's call it, A, and we are given that the length of the rectangle is 3 and the width of the rectangle is 2 centimeters, and we are told to calculate the area. Now the formula for rectangle is equal to length times width, since in the rectangle we have two lengths which are equal, so this side is equal to this side, and the width, which is the line that I just drew, is equal to this line, which is also the width. So we have two lengths and two widths in a rectangle. So now the formula for length, area I mean, is length times width. So here we have 3 as the length, and as the width we have 2 centimeters. So the area would be equal to 3 centimeters multiplied by 2 centimeters, which will give us 6 centimeters squared. and that is the area of the rectangle, which is the space inside the rectangle. Let's say now this was 6 meters, and this was 1 meter. So now let's change the formula and try to solve for the area again. So again, it's just going to be the length multiplied by the width, which is 1 meter, and this will give us the answer of 6 meter squared. Now the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is equal to 2 length plus 2 width. Since we want to cover all the distance around the square, or I mean the rectangle, so it will be this side plus this side plus this side plus this side, and to do that it will be 2 length plus 2 width. Now if we apply the formula, we are given the length and we are given the width, right? So all we have to do is plug in the formula. So it will be 2 multiplied by the length, which is 6 meter, plus 2 times the width, which is 1 meter. And this will give us, this is 12 and this is 2. So the answer would be 14 meters. Let's change our numbers and try again. So let's say this is 7 and this is 2. So applying the same formula again, it will be 2 times 7 plus 2 times 2 meters, and this will give us, this is 4 and this is 14, so this will be 18. Now let's move on to a circle. Now in our next question, we are given a circle and we are told that the diameter of the circle is equal to 6 centimeters. And we are told to find the area and the perimeter of the circle. Now, the first step that we are given that the diameter is equal to 6, and to find the radius, which is the center of the circle to any side of the circle, is equal to half of the diameter. So it's going to be 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Now the formula for area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. So here we have pi is a constant and we found r here, which is the radius, which is 3. So it is going to be equal to pi multiplied by 3 squared, which is going to be 9 pi cm squared. Don't forget the units. Since it's going to be 3 centimeters squared, the units is going to be cm squared. Now if you want the exact value, you can type this on your calculator and multiply 9 times pi, which is going to give you 28.274 cm squared. So that's it. So whenever you are given a circle, the first step is to find the radius so that you can apply this formula, and most probably you are either given the radius or you are given the diameter. And to find radius of diameter, the formula is pretty simple. Diameter is equal to 2 radius. Since the diameter is a straight line which is inside the circle and passes through the center, it's right here, this one, and the radius is the center of the circle to any side of the circle. So that's it. Now how do we find the perimeter? So how do we find the distance around the circle? So there is a formula for the perimeter of a circle, which is called the circumference, and that is 2 pi r. So perimeter, or c, which is the circumference, is equal to 2 pi r, and if we plug in the value, it is going to be 2 pi times r, which was 3 here, centimeters, and this is going to give you 6 pi centimeters, and if you want the exact value, it's going to be 18.85 centimeters. And that's it. For radius, the most important things are that the area of a circle is pi r squared area, and the circumference or the perimeter is equal to 2 pi r, and also diameter is equal to 2 radius on 2 multiplied by radius. So d is equal to 2 r or lowercase r. So in our next question, we are given a right angle triangle. We are told that these two sides are equal. So this is 3 centimeters, this is 3 centimeters. And we are not given this side, so this is question mark. And we are told to find the area and the perimeter of this triangle. So now the formula of a triangle for area is half multiplied by the base multiplied by the height. So here the base and the height is a straight perpendicular line, which is right here, and the base is just the baseline. So here we have all the variables for the area. So it's going to be half multiplied by base, which is 3, multiplied by height, which is also 3, which is equal to, it's going to be 9 over 2, which is 4.5 centimeters squared. Now it could be that you are given, let's say 1 is 3 cent, no, let's change it now, 4 centimeters, and this side is, let's say, 6 centimeters. And the base and the height could be different, by the way. It doesn't necessarily has to be same. So here let's apply the same formula again. So the base is going to be 4 multiplied by the height, which is 6 here, and this is equal to, cancel this out, and this is equal to 12 centimeters squared. Don't forget the units, and that's it. So now you might be asking, how do we find this missing side over here? And the perimeter is actually the base plus the height plus the hypotenuse, which is this side. Actually, this is called the hypotenuse. So how do we find the hypotenuse? So what we can use here is called the Pythagorean theorem, which states that A, let's draw another small triangle to show you guys. This is A side, this is B, and this is C. So A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared. And this is the standard for all the triangles. Sorry, only for right triangles. So here we do have a right triangle, and hence we can use this formula. So this only works for right angle triangles, sorry. So it's going to be, here we don't have A squared, so A squared we need to find it, and let's call B the base, so it's going to be 4 squared, or in our case it's going to be the height, so it's going to be 6 squared plus C squared, which is the other side, which is 4 squared. And this will give us 36 plus 16, and this is 52. So now A squared is equal to 52. To find A squared, we can square root both the sides, and A is going to be equal to square root of 52. Let's quickly do another example for the perimeter. So let's change these sides to, let's say, so in our next case, we are given the hypotenuse and we are told to find the height here. So how do you think we should proceed with this question? We can still apply the same formula, but this time solve for another variable over here. So we do have A squared, which is going to be 5 squared, which is 25 is equal to, let's call it B squared, which we are solving the height for, and C squared is going to be 3 squared. So now it's going to be 25 is equal to B squared plus 9, and we can bring 9 to the other side. So 25 minus 9 is 16 is equal to B squared and b is going to be 4. So here we can find b to be 4 and then solve for the parameter, which is going to be 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is going to be 12 centimeters. So in our last example, we are given a trapezoid and we are told that the base is equal to 5 centimeters and the other base, the roof, is equal to 3 centimeters, and we are also given the height, which is going to be 2. And now we are told to find the the area of this trapezoid and the parameter. So how do you think we should start with this example? So now the formula of a trapezoid is half, let me write A area is equal to half into base, the upper roof, so let's call it base 1, plus base 2, which is the base over here. So there are two bases, or you can call them anything you want. I'm going to call them b1 and b2 into the height, which is h. So we are given all the variables over here. We just need to plug in the values. It's going to be equal to half into 3 plus 5 times 2, and this will be equal to, this is 8 and divided by 2, 4 multiplied by 2, which is 8 centimeters squared. This is always a unit, by the way, for area. It is the unit squared. It could be meters squared, it could be inches squared, it could be feet squared. So always remember that. And now we also need to find the parameter of this trapezoid. And there is no fixed formula, by the way, for the parameter. We just need to add all the sides up. So let's see what sides do we have. It is going to be the base 1. I'm going to call this base 1. And this is base 2. And these sides also, since this is also going to be the distance outside the square, right? I mean outside the shape. So we would need to calculate these two distances also. And how do we exactly do that? We can notice that we can draw a right triangle right over here and another right angle triangle right over there. And we know that the height is 2. But now we need the base. So could you think of a way to calculate the base over here? Exactly. So what we can do is, we know that the base 1 is 5 and base 2 is 3. And if we subtract both of them, what will we be left with? We will be left with these two bases of the right triangle, right? Can you visualize that? So here we have this 3, this entire thing is 5, and if we subtract 5 minus 3, we will be left with this parts over here, right? These two parts. And these two parts are the bases of the triangle, right? So we will be given 2 is equal to 2 bases, since we have 2 over here, right? So 1 base is equal to 1. So the base of the triangle, base of triangle is equal to 1 centimeter, and we are told that the height is 2. So if we apply the same Pythagorean theorem again to find the hypotenuse of the triangle, it will be 1 squared plus 2 squared is equal to c squared, and this is 1, this is 4, is going to be equal to 5 radical 5, I mean to say. So now we know that the hypotenuse is going to be radical 5. So now let's add all these sides up. This is going to be 5 plus 3 plus radical 5 plus radical 5, and this is the answer of, it's going to be 8 plus 2 radical 5. And if you want the exact value, it's going to be 12.47 and so on. And this is the unit of centimeters. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer. And thanks for watching.